We are back. Now, let me continue of the characteristics of the third level people who become spiritual. They need inordinately praises and recognition. That many times, if their parish priests and their spiritual leaders cannot give them appreciation, they are going to leave the organization. Do you know what is that? That is a hang-up of a school aides. No affirmation. Then, here is, they cannot accept sufferings. These are spoiled 3-year-old children. They are blind to their defects, but they can see the defects of others. That is the projection of own defects. That is the hang-up of the play aids children. They are very exacting and they cannot understand the weakness of others. They focus on external. They judge people by their externals. They are easily scandalized. In prayer, they prefer more and more vocal prayers. Quantity rather than quality. You just run off when you pray the rosary because you want to pray many, many rosaries. They are very concerned with the image that they project. That they want to hide whatever not good. This is the toddler stage. The compensation of a poor image. What people say and think of them. When trials come, they are very weak. This is the toddler stage. They are proud, no self-knowledge. They stand on the pedestal that others build for them or they build it themselves. They live on the praises of others. This happens in many organizations when they are not praised for what they have done. Then they leave the organization. They are proud and they have no self-knowledge. They are leaders or people who create faction in the group in order that more people will go to them. They pretend to know all the answers, giving advice even when they are not asked. They control and manipulate their life and also the life of others. Many times in the Philippines, it also happen, we give gifts in order to manipulate the people. Because once you give gift, the person whom you are giving cannot anymore say no. But you know, these are all spiritual weaknesses. They are confused and ambivalent. They know that they want God, but they cannot give up the obstacles that will bring them closer to God. Saint Teresa said, they are very good negotiators with God. They will say, God, I will really become good if you will give me this. I promise to give you this, and then I'll promise to be like this. They are good negotiators. If they are in authority, they have an air that everybody must know it. If they have done something good, they brag about it. This is the toddler stage. They have a set idea of God according to their experience, and you cannot even tell about your idea of God. They are they try to impose themselves. They are very disturbed when ideas and opinions are contradicted. They impose their ideas and convictions on others, whether it is a conservative idea or modern ideas. What these persons really lack is interior freedom. We are too attached to ourselves. That's why we do not respect and accept others as they are. Why is it? Because these people place their security in externals, not in God. And these people have no peace. They are very unhappy. How insecure we are if we place our security apart from God. St. John of the Cross said, we may have 2 or 3 of this enslavement. It is enough to hinder our progress in prayer. Now, I'll give you a very good example. Once I was giving a seminar in one of this university. And while I was talking, there was a girl who was crying. And at the end of my talk, she came to me and she said, sister, I have been in a convent because I wanted to become a nun. And then the time of my investiture, the time of she will be clothed with the habit of the nuns. I was given the habit, but I could not wear it. And so the nuns were saying, well, if you cannot wear our habit, you cannot become a member of our institute. But she said, I want to be a member, but I cannot wear your habit. But because this group is really wearing habit, so they said, maybe you try some other place where you can be. So she was teaching in that university, in that school. That's why she attended my seminar. And then she said, well, we were going into silent prayer. She just saw it. It flashed in her mind what happened to her many years back when she was only around 3 to 4 years old. She said that every Sunday, I used to go with playmates who wear beautiful dresses. And so one day I told my dad, why don't you give me beautiful dresses like my other playmates? And my dad told me, I'm sorry, I cannot give because I am poor. I am only a fisherman. And then she said, that moment I decided that I will always wear beautiful clothes. It was hung up when he was only 3 years old. But then, it was our silent prayer that goes very deep, that really set her free. Now, this is what John of the Cross is saying. You may have 1 or 2 of these. It will hinder you from going deeper. That is why we really need to go into contemplative prayer so that we will know what are our hang-ups. Then, we experience healing of our woundedness from God. However, we will not be able to face it by ourselves without the grace of God. The self-acceptance is not enough. We need to pray and to face and accept ourselves in the light of someone who loves us. When you realize that I also have my own experience when I was a little child. I have been really a very naughty child. And many times my parents will scold me and they will get angry of me. But then I thought I did not have it anymore. But when I entered Carmel, I realized that I wanted the approval of the sisters and I'm trying to attract their attention. And some of the sisters told me, sister, why are you like that? Because, you're intelligent. Why do you have to look for attention from other people? And I said, I'm not even aware that I'm doing that. And during my prayer, one day I really saw it. And I've come to realize that my insecurity was really coming from childhood. I know that I have many gifts, but I begin to realize that my giftedness was only on the surface. Deep down, I was really empty. It was like an icing in the cake. but it was emptiness. You know, that really made me face myself, and I said, Lord, I don't know how deep are my insecurities. You alone can fill me up. You alone can fill me up. These dates, but you know, I would never have seen this if I have not gone into deeper prayers. Because all of us have of this. Whether our parents might be very, very good, but somehow, this is a part of original sin. They are not even aware that they are doing it. This is our woundedness because we are wounded. Now, self-acceptance is not enough. We need to pray so that God can heal us, because unless we are healed, we will always be craving for what we do not have. St. John of the Cross said, when we reach this stage of prayer, we think we are already spiritual because most of our concerns are now spiritual. So our needs and our sins take on something spiritual. And this is more dangerous. So we have spiritual pride, we have spiritual envy, we have spiritual avarice, we have spiritual anger, we have spiritual lust, we have spiritual gluttony, and spiritual laziness. Our needs and our fixation and the 7 capital sins under the guise of being spiritual is more difficult to overcome because we are doing them in the name of God. Now let me talk about spiritual pride. We are proud because we are good. Good preachers, good spiritual advisors. We are proud because we have many spiritual insights. We have many ideas. We are proud of our image of holiness. When people tell us we are very good, we are always going to church, we are always praying, we are proud of our community that has a good reputation of being holy, abreast with the times. We are proud because of our prayers, our fasting, our almsgiving, our spiritual practices, and good works. The danger here is we are not even aware that we are proud, because at this stage we have no humility. We have no spiritual knowledge. We have no self-knowledge. Now, for example, the need for affection in the spiritual level. Needing attention and love from our leaders, from our superiors, from the members of the community, from the church, and from any religious organization. Many religious priests and nuns, and even lay people, live of their organization because they demand to be fulfilled by this need, and they cannot get it, that they are being loved. Because it is they themselves who have the problem when they go out and go to other organization or to go to other order, they cannot still be fulfilled. Why? Because it is they who have the problem. Now, you have really to go very deeply into ourselves. Why am I like this, Lord? Many marriages are broken because they said that they are not being mined by their husbands, they are not being mined by their wives. They don't realize that it has something to do with their spiritual life. For example, they need to assert what I know is really the right thing to do. We assert that our ways of prayer is the best. Our spiritual standards are absolute. Our spiritual advices have to be followed. Our ideals of holiness have to be followed. We spiritualize everything. We manipulate God to do what we like because we have offered so many sacrifices, we have prayed so long, we have fasted, we feel we deserve to be heard. Now, this is again the spiritual need for affirmation. Continually asking signs from God. Lord, if you will give this to me, please give me a sign. This is hung up on perfectionism on the spiritual level. Strive to be perfect in virtues, in your prayer, perfect in your action. Then you repress anger, you repress all kinds of negative feelings. You are always on time for prayer. You have perfect religious decorum. You judge other people who are not religious. If they cannot get this perfection, they are angry and discouraged. They cannot forgive themselves. They label people who do not think and behave spiritually as they do. They look down on people who are sinners. Now, many times we do this and we look, we are not even aware that we don't like to be with people who are. And I'm really wondering why. Because Jesus goes with people who are sinners. Now, they feel guilty if they cannot pray all their prayers. They feel guilty if they have distractions in prayer. That's why many times they repeat and repeat and repeat their prayers because they are distracted. There is the need for generosity. Involvement in the apostolate of helping people can be our need. We need to be aware of it. Am I really doing the will of God? Or am I only doing it because I need it? So that when those whom we help no longer need us because they have outgrown their dependency on us, we do not control them or get angry and frustrated. This happened many times. For example, I am giving advices to many people and advisors, but there will be a time that they will not anymore ask my advice. What do I feel? Am I insecure? I should even be happy because now they can be on their own, that now they have grown. So, therefore, these are all our defects that really stems from our pride. And we are not aware of it. But it is our life of prayer that can make us aware of it.
Now, we will have a short break and come back later.